Today in Luther's Kitchen, I'm making cheese arepas, and I'm using masa arepa, which is white cornmeal that has been pre-cooked, and it's in a powder form. I'm adding some kosher salt and warm water, and I'm beginning with 2 cups of the masa arepa with about 2 cups of warm water, and I'm just using my finger to bring it together to moisten the flour, and then I'm just gonna let it hang out for a bit before I start to bring it together to see if the consistency of the dough feels right. Before I finish off the dough in terms of checking to see if it comes together, I'm gonna add some queso fresco because that's gonna add some moisture to this dough mixture as well. So once all my queso fresco is crumbled really fine, I'm gonna start to bring the dough together into one solid piece. If it's still dry or crumbly on the sides or the bottom of the bowl, or when you're trying to grab a piece of it in your hand and there's a bunch of dry flour left on your hand, then you know that the dough is too dry and you're gonna need to add a little more warm water. So my dough looks good. It's coming away from my hand. It feels moist, but it's not sticky, and it shouldn't all stick to your hand. Then you know you've got too much liquid. I'm gonna let the dough rest for a half hour. I'm gonna bake these instead of cooking them on a griddle pan. So I'm preparing a baking sheet pan with foil, and I'm generously spraying it with some olive oil. Now I'm going to use just a cookie scoop or ice cream scoop to portion out golf ball size amounts of the dough. And then I'm gonna flatten it in the palm of my hand, working it kind of back and forth, trying not to get it to split around the edges. And then I just have a simple filling of some cilantro and grated mozzarella cheese that I'm going to then put into each flat cake that I'm creating with my hands. Then I need to encase the cheese and cilantro mixture with dough. So I gotta make sure all of it is covered and then try to flatten it out again. If you have some areas of your dough that splits apart, you can just pinch some dough from the bowl and just place it onto that area that's been compromised, pressing it in so that you're filling all of the gaps. Then I just work the dough back and forth between my hands so that I can get a smooth patty. Then I take all of those corn patties and place them onto the sheet pan that has been prepared with the oil. My oven is preheated to 350 degrees. I bake these for about 10 to 15 minutes first. I just want to make sure that the masa is cooked through, and then I'm going to broil them. So I'm going to change them from the middle rack of the oven to the top rack. I'm going to put the broiler on, and then I got to watch it like a hawk because they will go from nothing to burned in 5 seconds. So you got to watch it. And then I flip them over so that I can toast or caramelize the other side. So once they've had a chance to cook at 350, broil them for a few minutes on each side, flipping them over and putting some additional oil in between. Once they have those gorgeous brown spots on the outside and the cheese is melted on the inside, they are delicious and ready to eat. For this recipe and more, visit myclasscancook.com.